Look, there's the Black Holocaust. I knew it was prophecy. 1,000 times worse than the Jewish atrocities. Uneven playing field, there'll never be a fair score. Cause in 1619, that's when they declared war. We the 12 tribes, the ones that the promise reached.
First and foremost, I want to say, Call Halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. That's all praise to the Most High God in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And this is Yajadiah over the Dallas camp. And by the title of this video, it's basically called "There's No Possible Way the Shabbat is on," or the Sabbath for you guys who don't deal with the Hebrew. The Sabbath isn't Friday and Saturday, fixed continuously. There's no way. And let's go into it. It says, 6 days shalt thou labor. Oh, Exodus 20 verse 9. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is as that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So this is basically the rules and the statutes on the Shabbat day, man. 6 days shall we work and do all of our pleasure and do whatever, but the seventh day is the Shabbat unto the Lord, unto Yahweh, man. So a lot of Hebrew Israelites like to say that Sunday is, let's go into the calendar real fast. They'll say Sunday is the first day of the week. And I'll say, yes, Sunday is the first day of the week of the Gregorian calendar, if you want to go by that, because they'll say Sunday, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's Friday night to Saturday night. But that doesn't make any sense, because the Gregorian calendar hasn't been here since the beginning, man. The Gregorian calendar has been here. Let's go into it. Okay, Gregorian calendar, right? Because that's what we're using. Well, I'm not using it. That's what a lot of Hebrew camps like to teach, is we got to go off the Gregorian calendar to see when the Shabbat is. Okay, let's see when the Gregorian calendar was made. On the 29th of September, 1582, Philip II of Spain decreed the change from the Julian to the Gregorian calendar. So this is 1582, right? The Shabbat was established thousands of years before this. So how did they know, if they didn't have the calendar to see what Sunday was, how did they know when the Shabbat was? I'm just saying, like, if you believe Friday and Saturday is a Shabbat, I need you to tell me how before circa 1500s, just to give you some time, circa 1500s, how did they know when the Shabbat was? And also, if I knocked you out and dropped you on an island, how would you know when the Shabbat is? Like an island, a remote island that didn't have any calendars or anything, how would you know when the Shabbat is? It's a trick question because you didn't know. It's impossible to go off the Gregorian calendar because how did they know? Yeah, how did they know when the Shabbat was, man? And let's actually dive in even farther into it, because the Gregorian calendar is what they would say an improvement on the Julian calendar that they had. See, the calendar was developed as a correction to the Julian calendar. You see, the Julian calendar proposed by Julius Caesar in 708 AUC, man, or 46 BCE. Which is a reform on the Roman calendar. So now we got to go all the way back to the Roman calendar, man. And then on top of that, I think the Roman calendar had like 8 or 9 day weeks. Rome's 8-day week, the nundial cycle, was shared with the Etruscans, who used it to schedule their royal audiences. It was presumably part of an early calendar and was credited in Roman legend variously to Romulus and Livius Tulus. So my point basically is you're going off the Gregorian calendar, which is a correction to the Julian calendar, which is a correction to the Roman calendar that had 8 days in it. So why are we deriving the Shabbat off of that? Like you can't physically tell me this is the Shabbat that the Israelites been keeping. The Israelites, the ancient Israelites, you can't tell me the ancient Israelites kept the Shabbat on Sunday. I mean, on Friday and Saturday, because they didn't know what Friday and Saturday was, man. That's problematic right there in itself before we even go anywhere. So let's go to, matter of fact, let's get even deeper on this. I want to show you one thing. This is 60 AD. Let me see, where do I want? Yeah, the year 60. The year 60 is the first identifiable year from which a date is cited complete with the day of the week, i.e. 6th of February 60, identified as a Sunday, right? I'm just going to skip all that, just basically February. 8th day before the Ides of February, blah, blah, blah. Let me see, where's the point I wanted to make on this one? According to the currently used Julian calendar, 6th of February was a Wednesday. So what y'all would say was a Sunday, for the calendar that y'all are going off of right now, the one that pre-existed it was a Wednesday. So I want to let that sink. I want that to be sinking in the air right now. The calendar y'all derive the Shabbat on, the calendar that pre-existed that one, and that one that was supposed to be a correction on the Julian calendar, y'all Sunday was a Wednesday. So how do you know when the Shabbat is? Moving on. Here's another question, right? You got different various ideologies who celebrate. You got different ideologies who celebrate Friday and Saturday as a Shabbat, and they also celebrate the new moons as a Shabbat, right? So let's say the new moon came in on Thursday night. So Thursday night would be y'all Shabbat. Y'all's for the new moon Shabbat. And then it would end Friday night. But wait a minute. That's going into the Shabbat for Friday and Saturday. So that would make a double Shabbat. So I would like anybody who's on Friday, Saturday, Shabbat, can you show me a double Shabbat in the Bible? Show me a double Shabbat in the Bible, and then if you can show me that, then I'll be like, okay. I'll be like, okay, there has to be something. We gotta look deeper into this. Let's look at this. Ezekiel chapter 46, verse 1, right? Let's see how problematic it is to have a fixed Friday and Saturday Shabbat. Thus saith Yahweh power, the gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut 6 working days. Remember that, 6 working days. But on the Shabbat it shall be open, and in the day of the new moon it shall be open, right? So the gates of this inner court shall be shut 6 working days, right? Let's say y'all's new moon came in, let's say Tuesday, right? Well, actually, let's see. Let's go off of that. Let me see. Tuesday to Wednesday night, that's 1. Wednesday to Thursday night would be 2. And then Thursday to Friday, that's 3. This has to be shut 6 working days. That's 3. That's problematic, man. That's problematic. That doesn't work right there. Because let's look at the lunar calendar. Let's see if that'll work with the lunar calendar or if that'll work with the Gregorian calendar. Because we've seen it don't work with the Gregorian calendar, evidently right here. Because that would be from Tuesday to Wednesday, 1 day, Wednesday to Thursday, 2 days, and then Thursday to Friday, that's 3. That doesn't work right here. But let's look at a lunar calendar and see if that works, right? So we got the new moon coming. That's the first day of the week. Then you got 6 working days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the Shabbat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the Shabbat. So, okay. The doors open on the first day because it will be the Shabbat. There's a new moon. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's open again. It's Shabbat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 working days. It's open again because it's the Shabbat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 working days. Then it's the Shabbat. You see how that works? You see how that makes that verse work? And you see how the Gregorian calendar makes that deriving your Shabbat off of the Gregorian calendar makes that verse not work? So who has the breakdown, man? Because you're gonna have to show me how I need somebody who believes this. I want you to show me how that works with the Gregorian calendar, man. Moving on. Well, let's go into how we actually keep it. Let's go into that, man. Genesis 1 and 14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, man. Signs, seasons, days, and years. What are those lights? The sun and the moon. What is the sun used for? For hours. The hours of the day. That's why they have things called sundials. So let's go into the moon. The moon's used for seasons and for days and for years. So let's check this out. Let's look at the word seasons. Appointed place, appointed time, meaning appointed time, sacred season, set feasts, set feast. Now that's important. That's important. Let's look at this real fast. Let's see what a set feast is, man. Let's check that out. Let me get Leviticus 23. KJV. Oh, man. Let's check this out, right? Leviticus 23. And Yahweh said unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, just like how it had here, that word for set feast. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts. So it's about to start listing off the feasts. And what's the first one to list off? 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Shabbat of rest. And holy convocation, you shall do no work therein. It is the Shabbat of Yahweh in all your dwellings, man. The first feast they name is the Shabbat. So when you go back to Genesis 1 verse 14, that word for seasons, because it says, let's read the verse again, then I'm going to click that again. Verse 14, Genesis 1 and 14. And the Most High said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. This is what we derive our calendar from, man. What does the calendar show you? Seasons, days, and the years. That's a simple thing. You go click on the word seasons again in the Hebrew. Appointed place, appointed time, meeting, appointed time in general, sacred season, set feast, appointed season, man. The moon and the sun is made for us to know the times, man. The Most High God set it up like that. So let's look into it, man. I'm just going to give you, because this isn't going to be, I think I'm going to do a longer video about this later. I want this to just be quick hits. Let's go into how we at the SICARRI keep it. Let's look at the lunar calendar. Right? Say the new moon came in, right? The new moon came in. It's the first day of the week. As a matter of fact, I think the word new moon, I think the word month means, actually, let me look at new moon real fast to corroborate my points, man. Let's see which one of these I want to use. Let's just go to Psalms 81 and 3. Kodesh. Let's see what that says. New moon, month. Oh my God. We derive the month off the moon. New moon, month, monthly. The first day of the month. The lunar. What is the lunar month? If we don't derive the calendar off the moon, what does this mean? I'm just gonna leave that up in there for you. Let's see. First day of the month, right? So we get the first days of the month off the moon, off the new moon. Now let's go into it. Like right here, first day. Say this was a Thursday, or it doesn't matter. Whatever day the new moon comes in on, that's the day one. Then 6 working days. Then the next new moon. The next Sabbath. My bad. 6 working days, and then the Sabbath. 6 working days, then the Sabbath. 6 working days, and then the Sabbath. 6 working days, and the Sabbath, and so on, man. Until the next new moon comes in and changes it to whatever day that was. So if this was a Thursday, the next one will probably be a Friday or a Saturday. You never know. Wherever it falls on. That's what we derive the Shabbats off of. And it's really the only thing that makes sense, because you just by looking at how the Gregorian calendar came about, there's no possible way they were celebrating the Shabbat Friday and Saturday. There's no way you can come to that conclusion, man. You literally have to trust in man. And let me get Jeremiah 17:5 real fast. Because a lot of niggas just trust in men. See, Jeremiah 17:5. Thus saith Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from Yahweh, man. Because what did Yahweh give us? What did Yahweh say in Genesis chapter 1, verse 14, man? He gave us the lights in heavens for signs and seasons, days and years, man. That's what we need to be deriving our calendar from. The moon.